Okay, so now we're going to solve using the quadratic formula. So I'm going to go ahead and start by writing that down. So negative b plus or minus the square root b squared minus 4ac all divided by 2a. So now all I have to do is find the ABC, plug them in, and simplify. So the a is going to be 4, the b is going to be negative 8, and the c is going to be positive 1. So here I go. So it's going to be negative 8, which will turn positive in a moment, plus or minus the square root of negative 8 squared minus 4 times 1, all divided by 2 times 4. All right, so now it's time to clean it up. So the double negative 8 becomes positive 8, plus or minus. Now this is where a common mistake students make is they think negative 8 squared is negative 64. It is positive 64. Negative times a negative is positive. Then we have 4 times 1, so it's going to be minus 16. All over 2 times 4 is 8. So now we can simplify inside the radical. So let's see, that's going to become 48. And then all over 8. Okay, you stop here, you're going to get partial credit. But we can actually go ahead and simplify the radical and simplify the whole expression. So we want to make sure we do that. So continuing over here, square root of 48 can break up into the square root of 16 times the square root of 3. 16 times 3 is 48, so I'm able to break that up. Now we'll go ahead and square root the 16, so 8 plus or minus 4 square root of 3 all over 8. So it's all being divided by 8. So if they can all be reduced by a similar factor, we want to do that. So I know you might think, oh, cancel out the 8s, but don't do that. Whatever you reduce the 8 by, you need to do the same thing with the second term. So they're all going to be reducible by a 4. So that's what you want to do, is reduce all 3 of those by a factor of 4. So 4 goes into 8, 2, plus or minus. 4 turns into a 1, so you actually don't need to write it. You just put square root of 3. And then the denominator 8 turns into a 2. And that is our answer for the quadratic formula right there. So you got to plug them in, do quad bit simplifying, and that's what we want to end up with. All right, next one is a radical equation, and you can see that says check for extraneous solutions. A lot of times you're going to get 2 answers and only one of them works. It's possible they both work, but more often than not, one of them does not work. So anyways, here we go. So first thing we want to do is isolate the radicals. So we're going to add 6 to both sides. So I get square root of 2x plus 15 equals x plus 6. Now to nullify the radical, we're going to go ahead and square both sides. All right, so you got to be careful here. This becomes 2x plus 15. Now the right side, you can break it apart and FOIL it if you want, but the shortcut, and I did this in an earlier video, you square the first part, multiply it together and double it, so that'd be a 12x, and then square the 6, that's going to be 36. If you break it apart and FOIL it, you're going to get the same thing, but that's just a nice little shortcut. So now we want to set that, whenever you see an x squared, you got to think factoring first. And so you got to set equal to 0. So that's what we're going to do here. So we're going to subtract both sides by 2x and 15. So we end up with x squared plus 10x. And then let's see, that would be a 21. So plus 21. I'll put the 0 on the right side. That's just personal preference. All right, so then this factors into x plus 7, x plus 3. So my 2 proposed solutions are negative 7 and negative 3. All right, one of those probably, they could both work, but one of them probably doesn't. So I'm going to go over here and check it. So we can start with negative 7. So let's see, square root of 2 times negative 7 plus 15, then take away 6. And is that going to equal negative 7? Is that possible that that will equal negative 7? Well, let's find out. So we get the square root of 14, negative 14, plus 15 minus 6. So then our radical simplifies into the square root of 1 minus 6. That turns into 1 minus 6, which is negative 5. That does not equal negative 7, so that's false. So we know that negative 7 cannot be my solution, or one of them. So now we'll try negative 3. So on negative 3, let's see, we're going to the square root of 2 times negative 3 plus 15, then take away 6. And the question is, does that equal negative 3? So that's what we're trying to figure out. And so let's see, inside the radical, we're going to get negative 6 plus 15 minus 6. So then we get the square root of 9 minus 6. Square root of 9 is 3. 3 take away 6 is negative 3. This came back true. We proved that when you plug it in, the two sides are equivalent. So negative 3 would be my only answer for that one right there. And I guess that's actually it for this page.